Hello and welcome back to Shifting Tones, the podcast with shifting tones and nerdy formats. Nerdy formats and shifting tones. It's episode 50!
Wow. Sound effects noises.
Woo-hoo-hoo. You know, it's been a year and somehow we still can't get our opening logo right. That's okay.
No, that's okay. You know what? Because I'm your host this week, Steph, and I'm joined by my two lovely co-hosts, Sam.
Hey guys, that's me. I'm 50.
And Lorissa.
Hiya, everyone.
We're being hype. It is 50 episodes. You know, I was just so excited. I messed up the intro, but you know what? That's okay. I was so excited because, 50. Can you believe it?
I cannot. Did you guys get the cake I emailed you?
Oh. No, I did not. Was it, I don't know, did it get
maybe
lost
I need to check spam?
You know?
It might have gotten
folder?
lost in the...
Well, what kind of cake was it? Was it yellow cake with chocolate frosting?
No, it was it was a carrot cake, actually.
Ooh, wait, that actually kind of slaps.
No, check your spam folder for my
I'll check spam. I'll check spam.
Real quick. All right.
Well, other than celebrating 50 podcast episodes, what's been going on with y'all?
Let's see. What did Sam do this weekend? Sam went to Oktoberfest with Larissa and some friends.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. And just to interject real quick, because I don't know if Sam's going to say this about the Oktoberfest, but I think it's the most important thing that happened is we finally saw one of the wiener dog races. I'm so happy and proud of myself.
Nice.
But go on, Sam. I'm sorry.
Oh, never mind. Who cares about Oktoberfest anymore since Larissa interrupted? Let's see what's next. So we had some friends over and we got some food and played some games and stuff. We got to play some Mario Kart, which we haven't done in a while, so that was really fun.
Mm-hmm.
I did place first once out of like the 3 different rounds of games we placed, so like not first one race, but first overall ones. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then we had a family cookouts on Labor Day to celebrate, and that was really fun. Got to play some yard games, which we've talked about the yard game in the past, so I'm not bringing it up, not bothering. Because I know Larissa's like, tell the people about the yard game.
It's a cool, unique
but we've
yard
talked
game.
about it.
Okay,
it's just a yard game.
It's fun.
And lots of good food. But I think the funniest part about it was my dad always is like, make sure you make something and bring something. So this time I was like, okay, I'll bring this strawberry tart dessert, which I've made for something else in the past. It's so simple, so basic. It's just like butter, sugar, flour, and vanilla mixed together, and you put that as the base, and then literally just spread strawberry jam from the store, like out of a jar, in the middle, and then crumpled more of that same butter, flour, sugar stuff on top, baked it, and served it. And I had, no kidding, like at least 10 people be like, this is the best thing I've ever eaten. It's half store-bought, half one thing.
Right.
It's so simple. But that was nice to hear from people. It's weird going first because now you have to listen to my controversial corner 2024.
Oh no, we can wait for that.
Nope, it's here.
It goes
it's
now.
part of my small talk.
It goes now.
Oh,
It goes now. You heard the host.
All right, I guess. Okay.
Steph, can I get bonus points for agreeing with you?
There's no points to be given. This is episode 50. I'm sorry. Maybe next time.
Okay.
Maybe next time. Okay. Number 1. I don't think I'm smart enough to make clickbait and hate bait. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like specifically hate bait. Do you know what I'm talking about?
You mean rage bait? I don't.
Yeah, rage bait. Yeah.
Called hate bait.
I say hate bait because it rhymes.
That is a controversial way to say rage bait. Let me tell you. I think
Yeah,
you're
rage
making some
bait.
hate bait from that comment.
Like I'm not like sitting down, I guess, coming up with like ideas of
Sure.
like a TikTok to make or a tweet to make or something like that. Like, Luke Skywalker is actually a horrible Jedi or something. I don't know. I don't know what would get people upset.
Right.
But I don't think I'm smart enough to come up with something like that.
You're too gentle of a soul, I think.
No, I'm just probably too old. Like it's probably just out of my like sphere of, possibilities as far as like internet goes. Skibbity, Ohio Phantom Text. Yeah.
I just
number
wanted to
2.
finish it for you.
How did Professor Oak in the Pokemon series think there were only 151 Pokemon in the world?
Because he lived in the Kanto region.
That doesn't matter. He had access to tech that could do things beyond our wildest dreams. They had video phone calls between Poke Centers. Like you see in later seasons that he's talking to Professor Willow.
Yeah, later seasons, not the first one.
Right, but the tech existed because there is a time where Ash is at like somewhere across the entire other side of the Kanto region and he FaceTimes with Professor Oak. I'm just saying he
FaceTiming
he
is
had to have
different.
known there's professor conferences. Like he said in the show before, oh, my old longtime friend, Professor blah blah blah. You don't think he's like, hey man, do you have like this giant god Pokemon in your region? He's like, no, I've never heard of Arceus before. He's like, oh yeah, we got like 30 of them.
I wonder what if like each Pokemon professor just like assumed everyone's regions were the same Pokemon until someone was like eventually they started talking about it and they're like, wait, you mean you don't have a Squirtle?
But
they're like, Squirtle, what's that? I have,
that
like,
would, that would mean that nobody's ever traveled in the Pokemon world.
Right, exactly.
Ever.
Funny. That's why Ash Ketchum is such a magnificent
No.
character.
You're telling me that in the Pokemon world, nobody has traveled before besides a 10-year-old boy?
Let me tell you a little story about the internet real quick. The internet wasn't made until the 90s, and that is how people, like, universities started talking to each other. Before then, you would have had to do, like, snail mail. We did not have, like, an interconnected police network until, like, the late 90s, okay? When did Pokemon come out? Let's think about this, okay?
Right.
I think professors have a little bit of a past. Japan was a little behind its time. It's okay.
You know what's crazy? Is zoos around the world all have the same animals in them. But you can't find a panda in Kansas, but there's probably one in the zoo. You know what I'm saying? Like, people travel, people take things with them. Somebody would have taken a Pokemon to this area and started probably like inbreeding them or something.
All right, next. What's your next one?
Yeah.
Sorry, that's my hot topic.
That's controversial.
I thought this was something controversial that might get Steph in a tizzy.
Oh.
I think that we live in the best location on the planet.
I could see it. I think I know what you're talking about, Gio.
So like people know we live in like the Midwest area, so we're near the Great Lakes. We have like some of the largest access to fresh water.
Yeah.
Our weather is not that bad. We don't have really like earthquakes or wildfires ever, or, tsunamis or hurricanes. We get the occasional blizzard, and sometimes, depending on where you live in the Midwest, you'll get an occasional tornado, but not as bad as like Tornado Alley and different things. We get all 4 seasons. We
do.
We're within driving distance of most major cities in the Midwest in general, like no matter which Midwest city you live in. And there's a lot of cool hiking and, amusement parks and weird things. And like, if you go to the Great Lakes, there's islands up there to check out.
In terms of safety and comfort, and I agree with that.
Yeah. I wouldn't say like, obviously we don't have mountains and fjords and history, really. History's only a couple hundred years old, but it's still...
you're forgetting about the native culture. There's a huge
I know, but
presence,
unfortunately, like, it's not talked about or shown anymore in society.
Well, learn your history, Mr. Controversial.
No, I know my history. I'm just saying, as far as like geographically speaking, like people don't talk. There's in Ohio. There's those snake mounds.
Yeah, the snake mounds. Those are huge.
And then yeah. And I know there's the really cool Finger Lakes in New York.
And come on,
South Dakota has a huge,
they're not the Midwest.
Like, they're considered Midwest.
Really?
Are
they? You think the Dakotas are Midwest?
No.
I'm pretty sure.
No.
Hold up. South Dakota.
Well, I don't even
Midwest,
think that the states that are in the Midwest should be the Midwest. That's a whole nother hill I can die on.
It says it's a sparsely populated Midwestern U.S. state.
Okay. No, I guess you're right. Now that I'm looking at a map of the Midwest, I'm like, I guess that makes sense. It's Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, Illinois, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa, Missouri, Nebraska.
It's touching.
Kansas, South Dakota, North Dakota.
There's just not a big population there to think
that, right? No one thinks about the Dakotas.
But they have a huge, because I went to South Dakota on vacation. Mm-hmm. They had huge indigenous populations and a lot of history there. It was really cool.
We have mountains then. If that's the Midwest, we have mountains.
Yeah, we do have cool mountains.
Go
Midwest.
Europe. Okay, Sam's Controversial Corner, done.
All right, thank you, Sam.
You're welcome.
So, all right, Lorissa?
Yeah, I was going to say, can I talk about my catch up now?
Yeah.
Cool. So I did the same thing, basically. But if you want a recap of the Wiener Dog race, which I know you all do because you heard me talking about it and you're like, what the heck is this? So Oktoberfest, usually
I should interrupt and just spoil the Wiener Dog race.
No,
that's what I should
do. I love it. It was the cutest thing ever. And I've gone for the last, 4 years now. And every year we go. It's always earlier in the day because obviously dogs, they shouldn't be there when the loudest, drunkest crowd is there. Like, that makes sense. We understand that. And so we missed that. And so this year I was like, oh my goodness, we can catch the one race, because people outside of the little stadium ring, yes, it was held in a stadium, guys. It was hardcore. They were like, hey, get your day championship wiener dog t-shirts for the Oktoberfest this year. So I was like, oh, I could do it. So we ran inside, and like, no joke, like there was like stalls for the dogs, stadium filled, people crowding around the stalls. And so we heard the announcer announce all of the dogs, like WWE style, like, this is Rocky. I don't know what their names were, I forgot, but
we'll say they were Rocky 1, Rocky 2, Rocky 3, and Rocky 4.
Mm-hmm. And so then they were all in their little boxes, and there was a plexiglass in front of them and to keep them back. And then at the end, like maybe 20 feet, if that, their owners were there to like obviously lure them to the end.
Yeah, they whistle for them and call their names and stuff. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, it's super cute. And so they go 3, 2, 1, sorry. And they lift the plexiglass, and then immediately there was this one wiener dog that like bolted, won right away. Everyone cheered like, yeah, go wiener dog, you're so cute.
Go Rocky 3.
Yeah, exactly. And all the other wiener dogs just circled around the beginning of those stalls. For the next 5 minutes.
Oh,
what's crazy though is that the dog that came in first place also won the costume contest earlier in the day. So I think there's probably a conspiracy theory going on there.
Maybe, but he was really good because all the other dogs, like I said, stayed around the thing for like 5 minutes, and then eventually most of them got to their owner, but there was still one at the end of it where he was still circling around. They're like, all right guys, let's go on to the next heat.
Poor baby. They should do drug tests on that dog that won, though. How quick he got down there.
Absolutely. So that was a good time. So that was the highlight of my weekend. I just wanted to make sure that everyone heard about that wiener dog race.
Is that all? Did you had the update?
Yeah, pretty much.
Listeners on?
Yeah.
Okay.
For the wiener dog race, real quick, Lorissa was describing it. So like it's at a county fairgrounds building.
Yes.
And so it's this building, and on the inside, there's like stands that maybe have like 20 rows each on both sides. Those are packed. The ring in the middle, and then people standing around it. Yeah. It felt like I was watching maybe like an old timey, what's it called, medieval like sword fight,
or like
an illegal like dog fight or something.
Yeah,
like the
exactly.
way this
it was like in a barn.
Area was like, I was expecting people to come up to me and be like, "Hey, I got 50 on Rocky 2. You want to in?" It was crazy. Yeah,
it was crazy. And so we got out of there pretty quickly because like it was built probably like a while ago, and it felt like it was from the 1800s. So it was like the most humid thing ever. And I don't know if you've ever been to an Oktoberfest, but they're always hot and they're always on fairgrounds. So there's no shade. So everyone's sweating. So we're like, let's get out of here.
All right. Well, I have a quick update on what I did, which is very vastly different from these two other co-hosts here.
You drugged wiener dogs.
No. My husband and I finally got our wedding book.
That's so exciting!
Wow, pretty fun.
Yeah. So our photographer is very nice. She has like an in-home studio, so we literally just go to her house and she kind of sets up like a whole catch-up, and like it's very personal, which is super nice. But we picked up our book.
That's
I know
so exciting.
Our wedding anniversary for 1 year is in 2 months, which is crazy.
That is crazy.
I didn't think about that.
Just now getting our wedding book.
Wow.
But there's been a lot of stuff, like there's like, delays and stuff. But it turned out super good, so it was totally worth the wait. So you guys will have to see it next time you come down.
Super excited.
That was just a simple thing. And then the other thing is that yesterday for Labor Day, we watched the Netflix live of the unbeef between
wow, you missed that completely.
Chestnut and Kobayashi.
Wow.
Yes.
So it was the big competitive hot dog eating contest between two legends where both of them actually beat their personal best times.
Did they really?
Yes. Dude,
wow.
Joey Chestnut, he ate 83 hot dogs in 10 minutes.
Wow.
And Kobayashi did 67.
That's wild.
Your husband was talking about how there was like specific rules for this. Like they couldn't dunk, right?
No dunking of the buns. It's been
they had to eat the whole thing, like whole buns, hot dog, everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Were they allowed to have water at all?
Yes.
Okay.
Because what they did, so I don't know how big of into hot dog competitive eating world you guys have been in.
But we watch it.
My stepdad has gotten me into it. His whole family has watched it, and it's just been a world that I've been watching since I was probably like 11 or 12 since I've been watching it every year for 4th of July. That was just the thing we did.
Disgusting.
It's disgusting. It's nasty. I know way too much about like the jump shake method, the dunking. Yeah. So Nathan's hot dog, they kind of screwed over everything for themselves.
They did.
Because they banned their greatest competitors.
I heard about that.
So they're like, okay, well, we'll do this.
Well,
so,
I mean, for
I'm
the
not gonna
right
get
reasons.
into it. We're not going to get into it. But we're not going to get into it. Basically, though, at Nathan's hot dog competition every 4th of July, the competitors are allowed to dunk the hot dog and separate the actual dog from the bun. So you could pretty much like shovel the hot dog down, and some people just like swallow it like whole. Yeah. It's crazy. They don't even chew it, right? They
Whole
shoot
gulps.
it back like a shot, and then you dunk the bun because then it's all sogging. But then there's a lot of like, you know, kind of not say cheating, but kind of, because like half of it's in the water because it like fell off, so it looks like you're eating the whole thing. So there's a lot of like, you know, sneakiness with it. But the Netflix one said you're not allowed to separate the dog from the bun. You have to eat it whole, and you cannot dunk the bun. And then they would also calculate any scraps that fall out of your mouth or hit the floor. Or if you regurgitate, like it'll minus, the weight will minus against like your final total.
That's wild.
Yeah. So it was exciting. But what they did instead was they ate the hot dog and then immediately poured water in their mouth. So instead of dunking the bun, they had the hot dog and the bun in their mouth. And just, dude, they were covered in water.
So gross.
Water and crumbs. And it was so nasty to watch. I'm like, watching. I'm like, dude, this dude's eating 80. Like, he ate 83 in 10 minutes. It was insane.
Wow.
I always think like,
so gross.
Oh man, if I had to do one, I could do wings, and then like we'll go out to dinner and I'm feeling 12 wings, and then I eat like 8 of them.
Yeah. No, they literally had that as like a warm up match. It was Matt Stoney, another competitive YouTube eater. He competed against 3 U.S. like swim athlete or Olympians, swim athletes. And it was their combined total, like whatever they ate, all 3 of them together was against Matt Stoney. And he, like, it was the same thing, like 3 or 5 minutes, he ate like 53 wings.
That's insane.
And they ate like 36. The
wow,
3 guys together. Yeah. It was just insane.
That is really crazy. Because you know those Olympians like protein load all the time.
Oh, yeah. So, but competitive eat? It was crazy. Anywy, so that's what I watched. All right. Well, I don't have a good segue. Earlier, I kind of celebrated this, but we had our 50th episode. This is number 50, everybody. And
we are just about to hit our 1-year anniversary. So this episode is coming out on the 5th. Our actual 1-year anniversary is the 7th. So yeah, 1 year of shifting tones.
Woo! We only missed 2 weeks. I think that's pretty good for a brand new podcast.
Yeah, I would say so. So in order to kind of celebrate this achievement, which, you know, we're doing kind of, the combination, thanks Sam for saying that, because I just was so focused on the 50.
You're good.
Yeah. So we're going to kind of just do a top 50 shifting tones. What are the top 50 kind of nerdy things that all of us like? And we're going to have it as like an official list. So we're going to name 50 things split between all 3 of us as our kind of most nerdy, most liked things. So I'm really excited just because it's going to be a casual little just chat. And we're I'm going to write this down for us and then we'll go through it at the end. So we have our top 50 official nerdy list.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear all of you guys because we don't know each other's lists. So it should be fun to see what everyone says.
And now these are things that we are supposed to be nerdy about, or nerdy things in general?
Your personal tops.
Okay. Because I asked Lorissa about that, and she's like, no, it's things I'm nerdy about. And I was like, okay, that's what I did. Yeah. Because I wasn't like, oh, it's not just like ninjutsu.
No, it's our nerdy show, and it's the nerdy things that we like.
Yes.
So absolutely. It's kind of then a combination of all the things that we all like personally, and we're just branding it under shifting tones.
And people can get to know us better this way.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if we have newer listeners and they're just like, I'm not bothering going 50 episodes back.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame you. That'd be like 50 hours at least. That'd be like...
That's true.
2 days and a little bit over.
Yeah,
Like,
I think we just
listened
hit
to it
30
straight.
billion downloads the other day. So
We did not.
Wow. Okay, so I'm gonna go first for my number one. I guess. What do you guys think is gonna be the number one thing I say? Let me see if you guys
Naruto.
know it.
Sonic?
Oh yeah. No, Sam got it. Of course, it's Naruto.
Oh,
I'm
you
combining it-
ordered these?
Huh?
You put them in order?
well,
Oh, okay.
No, but Naruto's gonna be my number one no matter
Gotcha,
what.
gotcha.
Yeah,
But
that's
I'm
fine.
gonna kind of combine it with Naruto ship it in because it's the same franchise.
They're the same
So-
thing. What about Boruto? You including Boruto?
Do you ever get upset when people say Shippuden?
Yeah, a little bit. It's a little just like goofy.
It's like saying Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
So,
you're right.
Number one, we have Naruto. All right. So, you guys rock, paper, scissors for who goes next?
Rock.
Larissa.
Paper.
Oh, no. Larissa, she said it first and you stuttered. Go ahead, Larissa.
So
what is one from your list?
One from my list is something I've been super nerdy about lately is city pop, which if you don't know what it is, it's a Japanese pop music that started in the 1970s based off of Western influenced music. And so it's like funky, psychedelic, fun, kind of like techno wavy synth music, very disco-y. And it peaked in the 80s and it's got a resurgence lately in the last 5 or so years. Kind of at the same rate of when anime became really widely exposed, because a lot of retro 90s anime have city pop tracks as their openings. So,
Mhm.
So that's
Right.
what I've been nerdy about.
Sam, what is
Nice.
one from your list?
Let's see. Just the first one I put on the list, like I said, these aren't in any order. I put geography.
Ooh.
So my background is geography from college,
Mhm.
and like I love all geography thing. That's why we did the Flag Day party, because I love maps, flags, traveling, anything to do with geography. I like studying it and knowing more about the world and culture and stuff like that. So it's kind of all encompassing. That's why it's just like the first one I can think of.
Fair enough.
Nice. No, I like it because you can be nerdy about that, of course. I mean,
can.
that's why people love GeoGuessr.
Yes.
That's a huge
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
So I get it.
Back in my day when I first played GeoGuessr, it was free.
Yeah.
All right. Next on my list is, guess what? I'm doing another anime because I love anime.
Oh, Mob?
Mob Psycho.
Mob
100,
Psycho.
you got it.
Oh, I
Who
think we could have just wrote
guessed?
Steph's list for her.
That's great.
Yeah, well, I'm very open about the things I'm really nerdy about. So yes,
Mhm.
Mob Psycho 100. It is an anime that I adore. Probably my next tattoo will be of it because I already got my Naruto one. But yes, I love that one. It's from the creator of One Punch Man, for those who maybe know that one a little more. All right.
Awesome.
So then, Larissa, you are up next.
Yeah.
Rock,
so,
paper, scissors. Oh, sorry.
Well,
Oh.
talking about rock, paper, scissors, the next thing on my list, coincidentally, is rocks.
Oh, that's funny. Wait.
It is really good.
That was complete accident. Yeah.
And I love rocks. And we had a little bit of tiff about this earlier in our podcast series where you guys argued about whether or not gemstones could be considered rocks. And I was like, hey, I have one friend that's super into rocks too. She would definitely consider it rocks. Talk to her. She's like, yeah, they're rocks. So get over yourselves,
Oh.
guys.
So
Interesting.
it's rock. So gemstones is included in
Gemstones,
that. Okay.
crystals, all the good stuff. So I love them, and not for like the new wave witchy kind of like
Spirituality.
healing crystal kind
Yeah.
of vibes. I literally just like them because they're pretty and I like looking at
Yeah,
them.
exactly.
And they're
Do
fun.
you collect rocks when you go out?
I try. Well, not like rocks I could find like on a hike or anything like that. But
Oh.
whenever I see like
Fake
legit,
fan. No, I'm just kidding.
no,
Fake
but Sam, he went out west with a buddy not too long ago, and he found like a legit geode like on a hiking trail, and I have that in one of
Ooh.
my curio cabinets. I polished it and cleaned it up, and it's I would say it's like a quartz. If you know anything about rocks, it's the yellow
If
one.
you're in the
the
rock
common.
community.
Yeah. So I got like a quartz. I got rock salts. All the good classics. So
Nice.
Mhm.
All right, Sam. Next
All
on
right.
your list.
Going down the list. I'm going to say the PSP. And I know that's wild and what a weird
Oh.
pool.
you
But-
are a nerd about it. You do like preach the gospel of the PSP quite a bit.
Exactly. I've owned 2 PSPs in my life. I don't currently own one. I might probably still buy one at some point just because like they're not making games for it anymore. It doesn't matter. It'd just be fun to own. I think it was way ahead of its time. It's the best handheld console till the Switch came out. It had internet capabilities. It was an MP3 player. You could watch movies on it, games. There was online play. I mean, it could do everything. You could customize it. I think a lot of people would jailbreak theirs and do like full
They
customizations, but there was like you could save images from the internet as your background, which was just not something that people were doing. I mean, this was when flip phones were still pretty much popular, and I had a full-on, essentially, smartphone computer in my hand that just couldn't make calls. It was a video game console, and it was perfect.
Yeah, too bad no one bought it, so...
I bought 2.
All right. That's funny you say PSP because actually on my list was the GameCube.
Hey!
Which I figured Lorissa was also nerdy about too.
Yeah, it was on my list. I specifically noted...
Cross it out.
No, yeah, I have some extras for you guys, but I wanted to note...
that.
Yeah. My GameCube collection. I'm a nerd about collecting the games, so...
Oh, yeah. So, it was just my favorite console. Like, it's just the best for me. We've talked about that before. So, all right, Lorissa, what's on your list?
Yeah, so of course, when you have rocks, usually you're in nature. So then naturally, I love plants.
Okay.
So yeah. So today was plant day, so I watered all my plants. So that was right on top of my mind. But I realized how many plants I've had. I was like, oh, I dabble, I have over 12 now.
I thought it was going to be a way higher number.
No, it's not.
I have over 6,000 plants.
And I think that's a feat because I have 2 cats, and anyone who is a cat owner and a plant mom knows that you can't have plants in areas where the cats can eat it. So the fact that I have 12 of them and kept them all alive for this time, and none of them cats have eaten it, you know what? Round of applause to me. So,
that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I was devastated when I moved. You guys knew how many plants I had before.
You did. You had so many. And you had to
I counted one time. It was 120.
That's so good.
That's crazy.
That's
so good.
More than 12.
Yeah.
I do want more. Eventually, I'll probably have more hanging baskets. I got my first one last weekend.
Ooh.
So.
All right, Sam, on your list.
Yes. Next it's going in the realm of PSP. It's smartphones. I think smartphones are the greatest invention mankind has ever made.
That's very true.
The word. I'm just kidding.
I mean, even though, it's hungry capitalism, this is the greatest invention ever. I have a computer in my hands at all times. I can lock it with my fingerprint, which is crazy, or biometrics, scanning my face.
GPS.
I can have games,
That's
GPS, everything. I mean, it's game changing and I love it. It's, what it is. It's a smartphone.
It does blow my mind though that I can just reach down in my hand and talk to like my friend in China. Like that's insane.
Exactly.
To
it's
me.
insane. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this was like, people say like, oh, if you travel back in time, like what's one thing you would take with you to show people? I'm like, I would take a smartphone. Like I don't, obviously you wouldn't have internet capabilities on it because there's not going to be like, depending on when you traveled,
or you couldn't call anyone either, but
you could show it off, at least, and show them like, hey, look, nothing's going to spawn, but look at Pokemon Go for a second.
Absolutely. Or like Angry Birds are going to be like, why is this Angry Bird?
Wait, no, Flappy Bird.
Yeah.
Flappy Bird. You'd be called a wizard and killed, but it's fine.
All right. So next on the list, I put Animal Crossing series.
Hey!
Smart. Big move.
I love that series, dude. It's so comforting. I love the music, everything about it. It's my favorite. So I had to have it.
Now, when you see it, do you always squeak?
No, not all the time, but
you're just walking in your living room.
I do make some sounds when I just walk around by myself, or just my husband's like, "What the?" Okay. But yeah, all right, Lorissa. Next on your list.
Yeah, so naturally, of course, I have Studio Ghibli on my list. You guys all know that I'm a big fan of it. You've listened to previous episodes, and so yeah. They're a good time. The illustration is beautiful. What else is there to say? Just go watch one, please. Okay? We need more fans of it.
All right, Sam.
All right, you guys are talking about video games and movies. I'll be in the video game realm. It's right now, I mean, it's just been something I've been nerdy about for, like, I don't know, almost a year now. Jeez.
Wait, let me guess. You said a video game?
Yeah.
Call of Duty?
Yeah, but specifically Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War that came out 4 years ago because it has the game mode Prop Hunt.
I was going to say the specific game mode.
Nerdy specifically to Prop Hunt. Like the zombies is fine, the online plays okay, but Prop Hunt. My friends and I, including your husband, Steph, we play like 2 or 3 times a week, and it's just it's so almost silly, and it's everybody knows like what every prop is and where to hide now at this point, but it's still just so fun because it's like playing hide and go seek but with video games and shooting like a box or a wet floor sign or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's great. If you haven't played it, go play it.
Yeah. You guys are so obsessed with it that literally, like, at the Oktoberfest, our good friend who plays Sam with Prop Hunt bought earrings that were the washings, the what
The
did
wet
you
floor
call it?
sign.
The
She
wet
also
floor
has a
sign.
Prop Hunt t-shirt.
She
so.
does.
That's funny. All right, so my next on the list is the just like Sonic the Hedgehog franchise, like just all the video games, the movies, you know, just everything about Sonic, and you know that whole franchise is just I love it.
Now, do you have a favorite character from Sonic?
Oh, come on now. Who do you think it is?
It's gotta be Shadow.
It's Shadow the Hedgehog, of course.
Shadow the Hedgehog. I saw
Shadow
a
the
clip
Hedgehog.
you
Dude, sorry. I'm sidetracking. That was also something that happened between the podcasts was the third trailer dropped. I watched it at work. I'm not even kidding you. I watched it while I was at work.
Really? That's really funny.
And my coworkers watched it. Oh my god, I was like, that was probably the most nerdy they've ever seen me.
I was gonna say, like, what was the reaction? They're like, yeah, this looks like a good family-friendly movie.
I was screaming because I was like, no, like I knew certain references to the games and certain scenes lined up, and I'm like, oh, and then I was like, do you guys even know like what I'm seeing or what's happening or like the relation to the games? And they're like, no.
Like,
did you treat this like a world event, like for your students, like how when I was in like grade school, like they rolled out the TVs and like, guys, 9/11 just happened, and you're like, guys, Sonic 3 trailer just dropped, and you roll in the TV.
No, luckily we were on like our planning time, so there were no students. But
Gotcha.
I was nerding out with my teacher friends. So
nice,
that's so funny.
Anyway, that was mine. All right, Lorissa.
Yeah. So what's next on my list? Talking about games is Atomi games, and so you're like, what the hell is an Atomi game? They're Japanese romance video games.
Oh boy.
Yep.
Is this like the how
the
to
visual
fool
novels?
Like how to fool a boyfriend when you can date the pigeon?
Exactly.
What?
And so the ones I'm specifically obsessed with, because I've never actually bought one. Usually you play them on like on the computer or like handhelds or something like that. And so there's a dialogue and you get to romance the main characters. And usually there's actually a good story that goes along with it. It's not just for like the jokes and the cute flirtiness. It has a fun story. I play the mobile game ones where you can play for free, and where basically it's like a lottery system every day. If you can get the romance options that you want. And so not a couple weeks ago now, too long ago now, because the game was like, hey, you got your 50 daily login reward bonus today.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'll be sitting there and I'll hear Lorissa like giggling, or I'll hear a noise. I'm like, what was that? I'm like, oh wait, no, sorry, you're on a date right now with your virtual boyfriend.
Yep. So I've been playing Love and Deep Space. So if you're into nerdy games like that, check it out. Totally free.
That's
unless
funny.
You want to pay for the gacha system where you get more free spins. But it's got a really interesting story, like jokes aside. It's a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to when they drop the next season of stories. So.
Oh my god. All right, Sam, next on your list.
Next on my list is bad horror movies.
Fair enough.
I mean, good horror movies, fine too. Like we watched Grave Encounters 1 and 2 this weekend, and I would say they're somewhere in the middle. They're some of my favorite horror movies, but I just love the really bad, cheesy ones that we can have some drinks, some pizza, and just sit around, be silly, and watch it and laugh at it. It's always a good time.
That makes sense. All right, next on my list is gonna be the current anime that I've been watching is One Piece.
Wow, it made it to the list.
Yes, it did. I've been having a blast. We're nearly, I think, like 1 or 2 episodes away from 600.
Wow.
We've been having a grand old time watching it.
That's wild.
It's been fun. I've been really liking it. And I know I've barely been spoiled with One Piece, like whatsoever.
That's impressive.
So I've been going in pretty much blind with my husband. So it's been super, super fun experiencing that like together. So yeah.
Do you have a favorite character in One Piece?
Zoro.
Of course.
Of course. Okay, but I also really like Law. I like Mihawk. I like Shay. Like, dude, there's too many characters. So there's a lot that I like.
That's fair. Are you going to watch the remake? Because that's the one I'm kind of interested in watching. They just announced that Netflix was going to do a remake where they cut down all the filler.
Yeah. I'd watch it too.
I'm excited.
But I still want to catch up.
No, that's fair.
Do any, off real quick, do any of the main characters die in that show? Like,
that's
I'm not gonna
spoilers.
I'm not gonna watch it.
But I don't want to spoil it for any listeners, so I'm not gonna say anything. All right.
Luffy dies episode 1.
Spoiler. Your turn.
All right, what's next on my list? Oh, yes. Talking about nerdy Asian things. I am obsessed with ramen. Have been always since I was like 6. That was literally the first thing I learned how to cook. was
Nice.
how to. I put literally my like instant ramen block on the stovetop, boil the water, and then I was just that obsessed with eating it all the time. And so recently, in the last 10 years, you've really seen a resurgence with Japanese Asian food in particular. So like lots of new ramen shops have popped up around my area. So I'm like, yay, I finally get to have something more authentic. So I love miso broth specifically, but I just love a good ramen bowl with the eggs and the pork belly. So good.
All right, Sam.
What number are we on real quick?
We are on 18.
This will be number 18?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure, like, because there's like some of these I'm like, okay, do I want that to be in the top 50 that I can like, I can leave out or whatever.
Yeah, sure.
This next one, very nerdy to me, is Model United Nations.
You such a nerd about that.
Yeah. So if you don't know what it is, it's you're pretty much role playing, cosplaying the United Nations essentially in the nerdy way.
Hey.
I mean, so
I mean, basically though, honestly.
I'm kidding. Go ahead, Sam.
So in high school, we did the debate portion of it. You were assigned a country and a council, so Security Council, Disarmament, Human Rights Council, whatever. Mm-hmm. And then you had to debate actual topics that the actual United Nations were debating at the time. Policy, history, solutions, all that stuff. You had to write resolutions. It sounds so nerdy.
It is.
But it was a really good group. It really exposed me to public speaking and made a lot of lifelong friends from it. And to the point where now we do twice a year, we do competitions where we're the chairs now. We're the ones actually in charge of the event and scoring the kids that are doing it and the college students that are doing it. And it's really fun.
Yeah, but
we've
tell
kind
the
of been
listeners,
on a little hiatus right now,
yeah.
but it's getting back into it.
But tell the listeners my favorite part when you tell about your high school stories. Which country did you always represent?
Oh, yeah. I was always stuck with the United States, which sucked because you had to debate, however the United States was debating. And it was like a lot of things maybe I wasn't super passionate about, but I had to, say what I had to, score points to the point where my friends would be like, they just would call me Fox News because I had to say like United States policies on things. And it was silly, but it was always a good time.
All right. So next on my list is fan fiction.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah.
I just love, I don't know. It's like, I don't read books, but I read fan fiction. I just know, but I just love, that's crazy. But I love the concept of it is that, people just write, novels or short stories and it's all for free just because you love a show or you love a series and they just do it because they love it and they're not paid for it, nothing. It's crazy.
Yeah, the culture is fascinating.
I love that. Just the fan culture like that. So fan fiction. All right, Lorissa.
All right, so next on my list is interior design. I'm obsessed with interior design. Oh my goodness, I don't know how many days I go by where I'm like, I love my house. Like, I've decorated everything to the way I want to, and Sam has been bequeathed the basement to decorate however he wants because the upstairs is for my viewing visual pleasure.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
But I also go on Realtor, which is a real estate market app on my phone where I look at different houses in the area. I'm like, oh, this house would be so cute. And then I start imagining and planning like, oh, I would arrange the furniture here this way, and I would put my plants here. And yeah, interior design is wonderful. My favorite interior design movement is mid-century modern. So I could talk about it for hours and hours and hours if you ever want to. So,
All right, Sam.
Next on my list is number 9 on my list is treasure hunting. I think I'm actually on number 8, but it's number 9 on my list because I skipped one. Treasure hunting. So specifically armchair treasure hunting. So it's something I want to do a whole episode on, which might be the next one. I'm not sure yet.
Is it a secret?
So The Secret, let's see, Forest Fence Treasure, the Golden Eagle. There's a ton of them out there. I mean, there's ones that people are making every year, like new treasure hunts. There's one in Utah recently where a family found the treasure and got $25,000.
Wow.
And I've never actually found anything, but I've been in areas where they've been, so that's something.
We've taken vacations specifically to try and find them.
That's not true.
Well,
that's not true.
I think that's true.
You think that's why we went to Boston?
I do.
We got engaged in Boston, Steph.
I know.
And
I'm
she
aware.
thinks the reason we went to Boston was treasure hunting.
We looked for it while we were there.
We spent, maybe a half hour.
More than
That's
that.
funny. All right, next on the list is going to be Pokemon, the Pokemon franchise.
Yeah.
I mean, how could you not? I mean, we all
Big
play
money
Pokemon Go. We play the games, the anime, the movies, whatever, the card game. It's just good. So that's up there.
That's a good choice.
All right,
good
Larissa.
choice.
All right, next on my list are rom-coms. Naturally, I mean, you knew it had to be on my list somewhere. My favorite one is The Devil Wears Prada. I can quote that movie any day. So yeah, I love it, and I'm really sad that you haven't really seen rom-coms on the big screen. I know Netflix and like all the streaming sites have been kind of producing them here and there, but I just really want to go to the movie theater again, take my gal pals, eat some popcorn, and just laugh at the really cheesy, corny stuff and like yell at the main character to break up with her boyfriend so that she can fall in love with the guy she met at the bookstore. I love it all.
All right, Sam.
So you said Pokemon, so I'm gonna tie into that. Pokemon Go, specifically Pokemon Go.
Wow.
Came out in 2016. I think these are different.
No, you're good. You're good.
So the mobile app Pokemon Go came out in 2016. We, I think, stopped playing it for like a year or two, but got back into it, and it's been fun. It's been a good way to get out and like walk around and go to parks and different things. And Larissa and I do it together, so it's a fun, little activity, and it's just cool. It's you collect all the Pokemon if you can. Not all of them are in the game, but it's fun.
All right, next on my list is going to be Minecraft. I think it's a wonderful video game. It's simple. You can do whatever you want with it.
That's it?
That's fair.
Yeah, that's it. It's a huge series, huge franchise, huge video game. All right, Larissa.
All right, my next answer is going to be Steph sounding.
Talking about nerdy things, obviously. And back to Japan and the 1970s, very much like city pop. I also love kawaii, and it started as a movement in the 1970s as a revolt against misogyny during the time, which I find fascinating that a bunch of women were like, hey, you know what? I don't want to like become old and start a family right away. I want to still love my childish things. So it was literally a movement and a revolt. They literally started writing cute caricatures and like turned in assignments, and they would get yelled at that their writing wasn't formal enough, and then they would wear cute dresses and things. And so obviously now it's evolved into this whole aesthetic, and it's everywhere in Japan and everyone loves it. It's a worldwide revolution. If you know about Hello Kitty, you know about kawaii. But I find it fascinating that a bunch of women were like, no, I don't want to do the normal 9-to-5 wife and kids thing.
All right, Sam.
Dragon Ball Z. Next.
Nice. All right.
That's it?
Well, I said I was going to give my Steph answer. Steph was like, Minecraft.
Well, I don't know how I'm supposed to be like, I love Minecraft. Like,
well, I mean, you could talk about how like you stream Minecraft, or you used to, and your YouTube videos are Minecraft related.
Spoiler, that's my next YouTube video coming out here soon.
What? Selfless plug?
Selfless plug, yeah. No, I like it. All right, I really like fan art. Going off of that's our next on the list is fan art. So just for anything, it could be fan art for video games, fan art for movies, fan art for anime. I just love it. Same thing. It's just like people sacrificing their time to be a part of a fandom, share interests. Like, love that.
Send us your Shifting Tones fan art at shiftingtonespod@gmail.com.
All right, Larissa.
I also am a huge nerd about art museums, and just like Sam does, every time we go on a vacation, when he tries to go find his treasure, I force Sam to go to an art museum. So I've been to a lot of art museums across the country, and in my area, I try to go to all the free ones, so I've been to all of them. So if you have a free art museum that's world class, please let me know about it. I want to go.
You're gonna get the one like you've been to. Someone's gonna be like,
Probably.
Oh, hey, did you check out this one that's in your city?
Right.
Like, oh, cool.
All right, Sam.
Ghost hunting. So we just had a topic about it the other day. Go back and listen if you haven't. For some reason, if this is your first episode, that's weird, but it's fine. Listen all the way through. But go back and listen to Ghost hunting. It's really fun. I watch it all the time. I think my favorite now, like I talked about in the episode, is probably Ryan and Shane from Ghost Files at this point. Or
yeah, they're funny.
Project Fear. It's cool. And, we're doing our Shifting Tones Ghost Hunt at some point.
Absolutely.
So stay tuned.
All right, next on my list is another anime. It's Kimi ni Todoke.
Hey!
It is a shoujo, the only shoujo that I've watched in full and read the manga for. So I really like it. Yeah, I don't know, something about that one. I just watched it. I took a chance and I loved it. I fell in love. So that one.
All right.
Nice.
All right, Larissa.
Yeah, so next on my list, I am obsessed with YouTube drama. I've been a part of the YouTube community since 2008. I still have the same account I made when I was in 7th grade.
Wow.
So I love listening to all of it. And lately, the big YouTube drama I'm following now is Mormon culture specific. So I was never Mormon, never will be. But I find the culture fascinating, and I know way too much about their drama that's going on. If you tell me about one thing, yes, I know about it. Ballerina Farms. Yeah, totally know about it. I definitely have an opinion about
I don't
it.
even know what that is.
Exactly.
So.
All right,
Absolutely
Sam.
no clue. Next on my list is something I'm probably the lowest on the list, but it was something interesting I decided to put on here is cocktails. I'm not super
okay.
nerdy on it compared to like your husband or
Mhm.
our friend Andy or anything. But it's something I'm trying to get more into. They've given me recommendations on YouTube videos to watch, and I have quite a bit of things at the bar down here to make myself. But we have a cocktail bar in our city we like to go to and try new things. So it's something I'm trying to be more nerdy into because I very much enjoy it. Not to the point of an alcoholic or anything.
I was going to say, you're not an alcoholic. We go literally maybe once a weekend.
Yeah, maybe. It's probably once every other week, honestly. But yeah, something just I'm trying to start getting more nerdy into. What number was that?
That was number 33.
Ooh.
Okay.
All right. So next on the list, I am saying the actual just like physical manga books.
All right, fair enough.
Love reading manga. Of course I love reading it online, but there's something about just holding the book itself. It's just so nice. I love it. Oh my gosh. And I have I'm collecting them too for different series.
Fun.
So I just love it. So manga books for me.
How many manga books do you own?
I don't know. I'd have to count them, but it's
over 100.
No, I'd say it's probably more closer to 50, if not maybe 50 to 70.
Okay, good.
That's impressive. Absolutely. And so, just a quick question: why do you prefer manga over comic books? I'm just interested.
I just never just being in bookstores. I've never picked up a comic book, and I've just never grew up with superheroes. Like my family never watched, cared, did any of that. So it was just, I don't even remember how I stumbled upon anime, but I remember, I'm sure I picked up a book and was like, oh, what's this? Because they're very colorful and cutesy, the covers for some of them,
Absolutely.
And I think I just picked it up and was like, what's this? And then I was like, it's backwards. And so the concept of you're reading a book backwards as 11, 12-year-old, you're like, what? It's because you're in school at this time and you're taught to read it left to right. But this book is saying no, that's not the case. So it really fascinated me. So yeah, I just kind of became obsessed.
I can imagine Steph picking up her first ever manga and reading it from the end to the beginning and being like, none of this made any sense. Why would they write it like this?
Well, no, because the manga books, they have it stop, do not read. It tells you the first page. I love it.
That's great. Yeah.
But yeah, I guess you could see that, huh? All right, Lorissa.
Yeah, what's on my list? Of course, I live interior design. So, of course, I also love architecture. And I'm a nerd about it. Whenever I'm in an area, I like to point it out. Sam politely yells at me to keep moving along. So I like to take pictures of it all the time, wherever I go. And again, of course, just like my favorite interior design movement, mid-century modern, that's also my favorite architecture movement. I love that it was all about being in nature and coming together with the open floor plans and then using your natural resources to naturally cool. I don't know. I love it. So.
Wait, was it architecture? What was that?
Architecture,
what it was? Yeah. Oh, okay.
Sam.
Okay. Oh, boy. Okay, next on the list, let's go with board games.
Yeah, I was wondering when that was going to pop up.
Yeah, it's probably one of the things I'm geography I'm most nerdy about. I have an extensive collection of board games and card games and stuff, and I have a little figures from board games even because I like the board game so much. And we're having a board game night with some friends this Friday. We're excited about. Ooh. And we just, most of the time, anytime friends come to visit, even you and your husband and stuff, we end up sometimes playing a board game just because I'm like, you have to play board game with me. But I'm not one of those people that will force people to play board games, and especially ones where the rules are convoluted and it's like a 3-hour learning process.
Yeah,
which we have plenty of. And every time we go to a bookstore and we see them, I'm like, Sam, we still have games we haven't played yet, and he wants to buy another one. I'm like, maybe next time.
All right, next on the list is another fan favorite, fan culture one. It's AMVs. We have talked about it. I hosted an episode previously about them, but a refresher for AMVs is anime music videos. I love them. Just a labor of love for your favorite thing, tuned with some awesome music, and just love it. So AMVs for me.
That makes perfect sense.
Larissa.
Yeah, so I have always loved thrifting. We all know it's great, eco-conscious, can buy some clothes that are higher quality than what you can buy in the stores right now. You can get a good deal, you can find some unique pieces. But lately, I have a group chat with friends where we share our weirdest, wackiest finds from Facebook Marketplace. So I'm a huge nerd about Facebook Marketplace finds. Oh my goodness. You can find literally anything on there. I just have a good time looking through it.
There are some great ones that we find.
Absolutely. Shrek. You want a Shrek banner for your newborn child's room? You can find it there.
Oh my god. All right, Sam.
Chipotle.
Yes.
I think it's the best restaurant on earth, and if you don't like it, then you have bad taste and opinions.
The man literally goes once a week at least, and if he doesn't, he's like, I haven't had it in so long.
We should have Chipotle for dinner.
All right, I'm gonna say number 40 that we have so far.
Oh, okay, number 40. Okay.
Super Smash Bros. I mean, we all play it. We all have a competition every year, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think that's pretty great.
Who's your go-to, Steph? Who's your main?
Dr. Mario, of course, is my main. A classic.
Stands in the corner, throws pills all game.
I love it.
Yeah, spammer, get out of here.
All right, Larissa, your next one.
Yeah, so because I love interior design and architecture, naturally, if there's a cable network TV show dedicated to it, of course I'm going to watch it all hours of the day. I'm a huge HGTV nerd.
Oh, yeah, okay, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
So recently I've been watching a lot of House Hunters International. And so it's really fun watching all these people and these couples coming up with these weird, wacky stories of why they're leaving, where they're coming from. And it's fun to see all the architecture and design from all these different nations and seeing how they set up their bathrooms and where their kitchens are. It's a lot of fun. And I literally just pointed out to Sam today, I was like, you know what would be great is to watch all of these episodes as practice and prep for GeoGuessr. Because you get a good idea of what each architecture looks like for each area and what the roads look like. And I was like, wow, I really am learning a lot about where people live and what life is like for them.
All right, Sam.
I'm going to go back to a video game really quick. I'm going to go with Bloodborne.
Hey.
Yeah, it's probably my favorite video game of all time. PS4, and it's a Souls-like game from Software. It's really fun. It's not as difficult as Dark Souls or Elden Ring or Ghost of Tsushima or any of those games because it's pretty straightforward. You have to follow a path and there's like a story, but it's one of the few games where I actually cared about the story. And I know that sounds horrible because video games are really story heavy most of the time.
Says the man who has never read a book.
No, I've read books before. I've seen them. But I've also played it with like every different way to play the game and beaten it that way. So it's probably my most played and replayed game ever. So go play Bloodborne.
All right. Next on the list for me is the movie Tangled. It is one of my favorite movies out there, period.
Wow, I had no idea.
Dude, that was my wedding entrance song.
That's right. I totally missed that, but that makes sense now that you say that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love that movie so much. It's just so good. So that one for sure. All right, Larissa, you're up next.
All right, what's on my list again? Okay, so I'm surprised no one has stated like one of the big 3 nerdy things yet, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. I love Star Wars. I'm a big Star Wars nerd.
Okay.
Have been, always will be. I've been forced and raised on it since I was like a child.
She said the thing?
Yes, I did. The Force, it's great. It's definitely within me. But yeah, no, literally, I've watched them probably since birth, the entire trilogy, the original, the new one, and the current one that just came out. Plenty of times. I watch all of these shows. If you want to nerd out about Star Wars with me, I am happy to do it.
All right, Sam.
I'm going to go with camping.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
So we used to, growing up, I went camping probably like twice a year, at least once a year. And we would always go around Halloween because of the local campsite near us. Did this whole thing where we decorated the campsites, and it was really fun. We'd go with like my cousins and uncle and stuff like that, my brothers and dad. So it was always really fun. And then Lorissa and I like to go camping. We try to do it at least once a year. We tend to go to the same place, but it's always a good time. It's nice to just unplug, get away, have a s'more, go on a hike. It's fun. It's really fun.
Nice. All right. For my next one, I'm going to say anime conventions.
Oh, fun.
Smart.
Yes, very nerdy, but I have been to 13 in my lifetime, and I'm planning on trying to go to another. So I would love that. Couldn't go the last time when you guys went.
We did. We went without you.
I know. I was so bummed, but I'm planning on trying to actually go again. So
it'll be fun.
All right, Lorissa.
Yeah, what number is this now? Just so
we're on 47.
So wait, this is my last one. This is the last round.
You get the absolute last one.
Oh, so I have 2 more.
I get one more. Steph gets one more. You get this one and one more. Yeah.
So pick your last ones carefully.
Exactly.
Well, other than Lorissa.
Yeah, I got one more. So, how do I want to end this? Okay, let's see. I am a huge nerd about this game franchise, and you're gonna be like, what the heck? You're into stories. You love character development. This has absolutely nothing to do with it. I love the Wii Sports game so much.
Nice.
Such a big nerd for it. Literally, when I heard rumors, literally like whispers in the wind that Nintendo was going to make it for the Switch, I was like on the internet every day being like, okay, is it going to come out? Which game modes are going to be on there? And I was upset that golf wasn't going to be in it originally. And I was like, okay, good. Phew. They announced a little bit later that it was going to be in their second DLC pack. And I was like, golf's going to be there. It's going to be fine. It's going to be okay. No, but everything about the Wii Sports and Switch Sports culture is fascinating to me. It brings me right back to like a moment where everyone came together, bought a Wii, played bowling. What a time to be alive.
All right, Sam.
Ooh, this is a tough one because it's my last one.
It's your last one.
I'm gonna go with something I'm super passionate about: chocolate chip cookies.
Oh,
I think it's a perfect dessert. I have tried probably hundreds of different recipes at this time to try to find like a perfect chocolate chip cookie. I think there are some people that do them very well, and some that are horrible. I don't like a crunchy cookie. I don't like a burnt cookie. I don't like anything too thin. I want a little bit of thickness to it. And, you get them 2 different chocolate chips in there maybe. It's so good. It's a perfect dessert. Don't hate on me. Steph, I know you don't like chocolate, but it's a perfect dessert.
Yeah, what's your secret?
My secret is love.
Oh.
And arsenic.
On that note, I was going to say my last one is Demon Slayer, that anime.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Dude, I've cried at it. I've seen it in theaters.
Right. You did. I remember you talking about that. That makes sense.
Yeah, so... Yeah. Well, you guys saw me cry at Mob in person, in the flesh, so...
I'm pretty sure almost every time we see you, you're crying about something. In a good way, usually.
Yeah. All right, Larissa, do you want to finish off our list?
Yeah,
what's absolutely. Our 50th nerdiest thing,
I know,
Larissa?
And your eyes are going to love it that this is going to be it because you guys are both totally obsessed and in love with it just as I am.
Yeah.
I am obsessed with period pieces, just like rom-coms.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I could have sworn you were about to say just period and then just stop there.
Absolutely, I'm obsessed with my menstrual cycle. No.
Yeah, I was like, Larissa?
No. Period pieces. They're about romance from like usually a Eurocentristic view about like court dramas and the French court and the British court.
I see. So like Bridgerton or something like that?
Absolutely. I've watched all the seasons of that, even the prequel series. But no, I'm talking mostly about, like Pride and Prejudice and like Marie Antoinette and even like the Japanese ones recently and like the sea dramas. Give me a good court drama. I'm obsessed with it. I want to know who's hooking up with who. The king did what. He should be hanged. I love it.
All right. So we have reached officially our nerdy top 50 favorite things for shifting tones. And I am going to read the list now because that was a lot.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
That was a lot of information. Yeah, no, I'm going to just go through it real fast.
I was just really hoping Larissa was going to say shifting tones was her last one.
Oh, that would have been good. That would have been good. No, I love, my drama. Sorry.
Okay.
All right. So, the official Shifting Tones Nerdy Top 50 Favorite Things with your favorite co-hosts. We have number 1, Naruto. 2, City Pop Music. 3. Geography. 4. Mob Psycho 100. 5. Rocks, gems included. 6. PSP. 7. GameCube. 8. Plants. 9. Smartphones. 10. Animal Crossing. 11. Studio Ghibli. 12 is Call of Duty Black Ops Prop Hunt in particular. 13 is the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise. 14 is Atami Games. Is that how you say it? Atome Games.
Yep.
15 is Bad Horror Movies. 16 is the One Piece. 17 is Ramen. 18, Model United Nations. 19 is Fan Fiction. 20 is Interior Design. 21 is Treasure Hunting. 22 is Pokemon. 23, Rom-Coms. 24, Pokemon Go. 25, Minecraft. 26, Kawaii. 27, Dragon Ball Z. 28 is fan art. 29, art museums. 30 is ghost hunting. 31 is Kimi ni Todoke, which is an anime. 32 is YouTube drama. 33 is cocktails. 34, manga books. 35, architecture. 36 is board games. 37 is AMVs, anime music videos. 38 is thrifting. 39, Chipotle. 40 is Super Smash Bros. 41 is HGTV series and the channel. 42 is Bloodborne. 43 is Tangled. 44 is Star Wars. 45, camping. 46 is anime conventions. 47 is Wii Sports. 48, chocolate chip cookies. And 49, Demon Slayer, with our last number 50 to celebrate. Period pieces for the movies and shows. Woo! Happy 50 episodes! Woo!
So excited.
Woo. Follow everyone at Shifting Tones Pod. That's the podcast where you can find everything nerdy. Whoop, 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 whoop. And then you can follow all of us individually as well at Spiffy Steffi, at Larissa.Schaefer, and Sam at Sir Captain Sam. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for spending 1 year with Shifting Tones, and we're so happy to have you. And here's to another 50. Woo!
Yeah.
Bye.